fandoms, and welcome back to my channel. So I have a few things to explain, so before we get into this, I'm going to talk for a few minutes. If you want to go ahead and skip to about a minute or 2 minutes or so, that's when the video will probably start. But I have a few things to talk about. First things first, I should be at school, but I'm not, because fuck school. Secondly, I'm sorry I'm not wearing the traditional glasses. I honestly have no idea where they are, because if you can't tell, I'm moving. I'm moving, and I packed everything away, so I have no idea where my glasses are. I know they're in this drawer over here, but I taped them up, so I didn't want to take them all out. And I know it's been quite a minute since I have made an actual video for this channel, because I still have videos to upload for this channel, but that'll be done by, I think, the end of this week or next week. So I thought, why not make more videos now, because I'll probably be done uploading videos by the time this comes out. Well, yeah, I'll be done with videos by the time this comes out, so why not have some fresh new videos? So some of these, I'm reading some Pokemon conspiracy theories. I've read these in the past, but unfortunately I accidentally deleted those videos before I could download them, which was my mistake, but it's totally fine because I found the same ones that I mistakenly deleted. But I'm bored right now, and it's currently 1:30. Oh my god. It's 1:30, it does not feel like 1:30. It's fucking pouring down rain. I have my second cup of coffee. Life's good. But yeah, so I thought today we're gonna be reading the fan theory that solves Pokemon's greatest mystery. This is not gonna be too terribly long. I have a couple of things lined up that I want to make, because why not? I'll get some videos I'll get rid of, and there's no really day or time limit that this goes up. Well, it's normally on Wednesday, but whatever. Anyone who's seen more than one and also because I'm obsessed with Pokemon at the moment, so it's just like, so yeah, let's get right into it. Anyone who's seen more than one episode of Pokemon likely has a lot of burning questions they'd love to get answered. For example, Ash, you've been playing this game for nearly 2 decades, buddy. When are you gonna get it together and be a master? Also, what's up with Mr. Mime? And why isn't it our local hospital full of identical hot nurse joys? And why isn't our local police department filled with Zetzi nonsense Officer Jennies? Well, your world isn't one big Pokemon cloning conspiracy theory. As it turns out, there's one question in the Pokemon universe that we can all answer. It's the one with the most nefarious answer of them all. The Joys and Jennies of the Pokemon universe might seem like two collections of sexy anime babes who share the same names, faces, and jobs. While we're all claiming to be cousins, but reality is much darker, considerably less sexy. If in 1999 you convinced your parents to take you to see Pokemon the first movie, showing them that the part of media was safe on the outside of Pokemans, you were treated to flashbacks and revealed shady origins of all-powerful psychic Pokemon named Mewtwo. You learn about a man named Giovanni who wanted to take over the world like the classic James Bond villain, minus the piranha tank and adding a rad-ass orange suit. He is a Dr. Clay Esqui, leader of the criminal organization Team Rocket. And as the anime repeatedly shows you, his human resource department is truly awful. You also learn of a man named Dr. Fuji, who has quietly begun his own mad scientist origin story after the tragic death of his daughter Amber. The good doctor went all Resident Evil and obsessively tried to bring her back with depressingly unsuccessful cloning experiments. His madness drove his wife away because, he continued his desperately pointless work. Giovanni caught all these wild experiments and offered them if Dr. Fuji would also work to create a genetically enhanced clone of Mew, the most powerful legendary Pokemon ever to be, in his enslaved super soldier. And when you're in that deep in your own crazy, taking the amount of money from a terrorist is basically a given. Fuji was never to clone his daughter and create Amber 2 along with Mewtwo, but Amber 2, being human and thus very deadable, didn't survive the process. However, he was successful at cloning and even modifying Mew and other Pokemon. Okay, so where do the cousins come in? The only logical explanation here is that the Joys and Jennies are either Terminators or simply lag-created clones because identical cousins isn't a thing. And since Officer Jenny hasn't strangled Pikachu with her ultra robot hands, that just leaves one option. Obviously, cloning Mew wasn't the first time Giovanni approached a mad Dr. Fuji with an assignment. Sometimes Dr. Fuji's wife left his creepy ass. Giovanni must have confidentially swooped in and asked lonely Dr. Fuji if he wouldn't mind cloning an army of subservient hot women in uniforms. Yeah, Fuji didn't mind. And how Fuji was able to clone Joy, Jenny, and Pokemon, but not his daughter? Well, cloning is an artificial, unnatural process, and Pokemon have proven to be much easier to clone than humans because they are completely unnatural clone masters to begin with. That's why Mewtwo survived while Amber 2 bit the dust like a punk. Pokemon don't have babies like normal creatures. Two Pokemons, even two absolutely different species, can mate with each other to create an egg, but the baby egg isn't exactly a combination of its parents, but an exact duplicate of one of its species. Since he was never too able to clone humans, but he was eventually able to bundle his way through Pokemon cloning, we can deduce that Dr. Fuji must have created the humanoid Joys and Jennies in the lab to scratch using modified Pokemon DNA. And he likely got that DNA from Blissey, the evolution of Nurse Joy's medical assistant Chansey, who can not only take human form, but Nurse Joy form. So when you see a Nurse Joy sitting next to a Pokemon, you're actually seeing two Pokemon. There isn't assimilate with the human race and well enough to think that they are humans, but since they are made out of interspecies bukkake bucket of Pokemon DNA, they are more artificial and therefore easier to clone and engineer than regular humans and other types of Pokemon. But just like other Pokemon, they all look the same and have the same names. Only skilled genetics like Brock, who dreamed of being a Pokemon breeder, can tell them apart. Well, Brock and Mewtwo. In the first movie, we further proof that Joy is a lab-created abomination by how Mewtwo, the super clone of Mew, treats her. After growing tired of being a lab rat, Mewtwo murdered the shit out of Mr. Fuji and his associates. To further extract his vengeance, Mewtwo planned to wipe out the human race along with regular Pokemon, which he considered too inferior to the enhanced clone Pokemon like himself. However, there's one human he felt affinity for, Joy. Mewtwo brainwashed a Nurse Joy and kidnapped her, bringing her with him to his lair so she can aid him in his goals to repopulate his new world with super clone babies. After some dumb human insulted him and attacked him, Mewtwo lost his shit once again, and in the midst of freshly stoked hatred of humans, he released Joy he had enslaved, deciding she was too human for this new superior world. Okay. Mewtwo was all set for a Death Star level destruction until he saw Pikachu's pouty face and his heart grew 3 sizes that day. He left them all in peace and erased their memories of the event. This detail is critically important because Joy's ordeal shows that her mind was incredibly malleable. Her memories can easily be overwritten, which she can brainwash others. She can be brainwashed to follow orders. And if shit hits the fan, a psychic Pokemon can simply hit the delete button and blank slate her ass like nothing ever happened. This is how Joy and Jenny's true master Giovanni uses his insidious anime clones to take over the world in plain sight. Why would he choose 2 Pokemon professionals to infiltrate? At some point in the beginning, humans must have been a staple in the law enforcement and healthcare industries. But remember, Giovanni always has access to psychic Pokemon capable of inceptioning everyone they goddamn please. Giovanni have been able to inflate his lady clones into a position of authority they continue to hold to this day. And anyone who says otherwise gets mind wiped. And these 2 staples aren't run by people with powerful Pokemon he could do with ease. This also provides him with extra income, as well as we established. His other ventures aren't doing much to improve his profit margins. Giovanni hides his convert operations in plain sight, running various police academies, nursing schools, and seemingly open to public, though they're really not. In a poignant flashback, we learn that Jessie, half of Team Rocket, which constantly harasses Ash, once aspired to become a nurse herself. While applying for the medical school, she was heavily dissuaded from attending by the admissions officer, but her tendency wore out when she attended nursing school, surrounded by scores of very specific Pokemon, Chanseys, all being set up to evolve and turn into their Joy counterparts. Jessie kicked ass at her studies, but her Pokemon classmates accidentally put her to sleep with their singing powers during class, inciting the wrath of her teacher and ultimately causing her to be the one student to fail the course. This is when Giovanni first recognizes Jessie's villainous potential. Remember, he's always watching. Joy's and Jenny's are tailor-made for the professions. Nobody has any reason to question their dominance in these fields because they are perfectly suited for them. This is also why Dr. Fuji couldn't just make them look different to avoid public suspicion. In the genetic phenomenon, they gave us different dog breeds. Dog bred for specific jobs developed by a specific physical appearance based on what they're designed for. Eventually, though, the Joys and Jennies received a few makeovers. But these changes didn't require any altering of DNA or changes in lifestyle. They're just side effects of believing that you're a human who makes human choices. Giovanni had also made strides to conquer other areas of the Pokemon universe and his cloning plans, but they are small so far. Ridiculously, Butch Dunn George and Effeminate Manservant Porter, who is also we're all cousins who exactly look like shtick. This has also been going on for a little bit, so why hasn't Giovanni pulled the trigger? Why hasn't he had Officer Jenny cap Ash while he's training in his sleeping? Why is there an end game to all? Where is the end game of all of this? As it turns out, there might not be an end game anymore. At the end of Mewtwo Returns movie, Mewtwo has the minds of all Team Rocket members erased, including Giovanni's, meaning that Giovanni probably no longer remembers why the hell he started all this in the first place. He doesn't know what he eventually planned to do with this whole cloning thing. All he knows is to check every quarter of the Nurse Joy's Pokemon Centers that funds repetitive Team Rocket missions. So why does it seem like Pokemon anime lasts forever and all while going nowhere? Because Giovanni doesn't recall his greatest scheme. He had everything set up to plan, spread influence, and eventually take over the world. If we only can remember what that plan was. Now if only can remember what his plan was. Oh, joy! A Jenny article. Oh, that's cool. I was looking at one of the comments and that's what that said. But yeah. Also, sorry if you can hear construction in the background. That is the greatest fan theory that solves the Pokemon's greatest mysteries. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new to my channel and you love anime as much as I do, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give a thumbs up. Also, hit the bell so notified when I make videos, which is every Wednesday. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.